Okay, so today we are featuring another like color on black type project. It's comes to me from my friend Letters Philgood again here, and I want to say it's nice to see these kinds of things. Before we get into this, I just yesterday got tagged in 2 more projects. Not the exact same as this, but like more of these are happening all the time, all over the world now.
Good.
We're doing them here. They're coming to me from places you wouldn't even expect, like all over the world now. This is being like done everywhere now, and it's nice to see, and it's also makes for really interesting ideas too, right? Like if I was a tattooer myself, I would be doing stuff like this. This is something that Kevin and I, the old co-host, talked about doing. Was like we talked about doing this a variety of ways. Like this one here is a dark wash over old work.
That's interesting.
We talked about doing this with like a darker opaque too, like where you come in and you have like, you know, some shitty black and gray or some half-assed color thing, and you just smother it out with gray.
Yeah, you lay out, but it's not quite as black as black.
Well, the idea is like,
you don't have to wait for the black to settle.
yeah, so the idea is it's going to heal, and it's going to be that. See, this one looks like a really old kind of.
It looks like an old blackout.
It looks like an old blackout, but also kind of not solid blackout. So those are pretty easy to cover, right? So, but in order to do this, you actually do have to saturate this very solid. Like that's a really solid wash.
I actually find these washes like really hard to saturate too. Like I've tried to saturate washes in small spaces, and I have a hard time making them look consistent, especially like the lighter washes.
Well, they're not meant to be packed.
No, exactly.
Right? So like usually you would think like if you weren't a badass, I would think that things would show through this.
Well, I'm not a badass, so that's why I'm saying that.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like this is a cool idea for someone who can pack, you know, really good black to begin with, and then you could do the same thing with a wash. But like, I think it would maybe be even easier to do this with an opaque gray.
Oh, yeah.
Because the opaques are just naturally, they just bully everything. They just replace everything with the gray.
I just feel like there's too much white in an opaque gray. That's why I find this appealing.
Yeah, it depends on which one.
Because white can be kind of frustrating sometimes.
Yeah, like some people will go. People will go to me. They'll say, "Oh, well, we're gonna actually." Philgood himself is doing this. His artist is doing some white on his blackout, or has done by now. Some white on his blackout with the intention of going over it with red, because they're going to see if it's brighter. But like I've already done this, like not me, but I've had it done on me, and I don't actually think that that's a good idea necessarily. I think, and I actually told them that, but like they're going to give it a shot.
It's always fun to experiment.
It's just the white eats up some of the color.
Yeah.
So like for example, we did turquoise over the white in this, and you can't really see the turquoise.
No, that's the
Like, it just kind of nope.
The white like overpowers it. That's why I worry about opaques, because there is white in there.
There are opaques that have more black to white though.
Oh, I know. I'm looking at them right now.
So, but like the idea is like, oh, we're gonna whitewash this. We're gonna have a white wall now. Now that's not how it really works though, because you're mixing chemicals, and whatever you put into the white that's on that black, it's now going to dilute that.
The
right?
bucket.
So you're getting more shit in there.
Skin is a bucket.
And what ends up happening is you end up with this sort of like pale result. Like instead of having like a dark red, you have a pale red, right?
Which probably would end up being more pink, because like, when you throw red and white together, you get a pink.
So like the tentacles on my torso, for example, those have like a fainter kind of red to them, because those were white at one point. Whereas the eyes on my chest here, they're not that way because they were done straight over black. So there was no white mixing in there. And same as the red on my arms, all of that was done straight over black. So it's a truer red and less of a... Now, that being said, if you were open to doing the multiple sessions on the white on black with the color on, like eventually it doesn't matter anymore, I'm sure, but it's not going to be any more useful than just going straight red over black to begin with and then doing the passes from there. I think you're just adding in another element that it's not like painting. People keep wanting it to be like painting. It's more like mixing. And that's another reason why I think that the dark wash is a good idea if you can do it, because it won't be as concentrated in the black ink pigments. So whatever new pigment you put over there, this is showing lighter because there's less thick black in that mix. And so what ends up happening is this, right? So we have a video here showing it.
Oh, cool.
And that's fresh. I believe that was the fresh.
It's a nice brick kind of deep red.
No, that was the healed actually.
Oh,
so that's one pass. The fresh.
Nice tone.
So you
really
see,
like that.
You see how the black interacts with the red?
Yeah.
It turns it from this brighter color to this darker kind of crimson.
Yeah, deep color.
And
beautiful.
I will point out, there's still black on black here, right? This is, even in this, you don't get these sharp edges without black on black. So for the millionth time, because some people still refuse to listen to me, and I'm a broken record intentionally, you don't get these results without black framing, right? There's black everywhere around this.
You want to back it with fresh black.
Well, and look how much better it looks.
It looks so good.
Right? And that black is truly different than the dark wash, too.
He's doing some really cool work.
Well, he's going to do more.
I
but,
know.
like, this is the thing. This is why we do this show. This is why I talk about this. Because some people go, well, why don't you just get your tattoos and shut the fuck up? Because that's what's wrong with this industry. There aren't enough people talking about it.
There's too much, like, gatekeeping and stuff. Like
the few people that have done this before me didn't say anything about it and hid away in a dark corner.
Exactly.
And then it was like, if anyone asked about it, it's like, piss off, asshole.
Or you can't do that.
You can't do it because you're not a wizard like I am.
Yeah.
No, motherfucker. Literally, I got an apprentice I'm talking to right now that's tattooed 2 separate tattoos on me.
And very vibrant.
And they're very vibrant.
Very vibrant colors. And some colors that you were like, no, Sarah, like orange doesn't typically work.
Well, most of them, no, that's not what I said. I said that some of the oranges really suck, which is true. We're still fucking trying to figure out the best ones. Some of them going like shit.
So I'm just going to throw out there that oranges do seem like they really suck. So I went with Tangelo, which is like more red than orange, because red seems to work really, really well.
This red in particular was, by the way, and by the way, because people always say, oh yeah, you're so high on yourself, Remy. No. This is a direct result of my experimentation. This the red that he used
Red velvet.
No, this is red or Nebula red.
Oh, it's red.
Yeah, he's been watching the channel and seeing the results I've got and gone, oh, that Nebula red
works really good.
And then ordered it specifically for this.
Yeah.
And now he's doing Nebula red on his own arm, the yellow on black one. That's going to get red in it. And they're using colors inspired by, again, this fucking YouTube channel. So for the morons that are like, whoa, why you talk so much about your...
I don't
so
think
things
that
like this.
That you're high on yourself. It's that you've put thousands of hours in, so you're kind of finding out what works. And then a person like...
It's doing wonders for the world of tattooing.
Mr. Letters Philgood here is like pushing it another direction, because you only have so much skin. Mm-hmm. Right? Like, you could only do so much, but he's taking what you know works and then fucking with it some more.
That's the idea, right? Like, I want to see someone take this farther. And I don't think that, to be quite honest, this is not jerking myself off. I don't think that person's out there right now. I don't think that there's a person that's going to do as much as me anytime soon on their own.
Not on one person.
Yeah, I don't think that's... I think you have to... And people go, oh, well, if I had the money, I would do... No, you wouldn't, because there are people who do have the money and they don't.
I think as an artist, though, I think Mr. Letters Philgood here is going to...
You can experiment in better ways to do this.
Going to push it on a bunch of different people to figure out, like, other stuff.
What you're getting is you're starting from a better foundation, right? Like, you're starting from, we know these things work, and what else can we do, right? Like, whereas when Rick and I started fucking around, it was like, there's like nothing. There's nothing. Good luck.
Yeah,
no one is saying anything about it.
You couldn't go to a YouTube channel and be like, what red are they using?
But even then,
it was like, okay, what red should we use?
No, but even then, like, I seen a moron in the comments section the other day on a fucking very basic ass healed white on black tattoo, and he's like, oh, I've never seen a healed white on black. Yes, you have, you donkey. They're everywhere.
Yeah.
They're all over the place.
It's just that unless someone's like screaming in your face, it's healed, you don't.
Well, they just assume it isn't. Like,
Yeah, 'cause
there's
it
this
looks too
video
good to them.
of my arm that's still trending. And there's a
rose.
rose in that very video that is 2.5 years old. And people are like, I'd like to see it healed.
It's like, yes, this one is
You
healed.
are seeing it healed, you fucking
And
donkey.
until very recently, when you added color to the roses on your face,
They were over 3 years old
many
before
years
we
healed.
did. So
The white on black version of those, and they were vibrant.
they were the same as they were.
And I also want to throw out there that they were over top of scar tissue.
Yeah, of course. So I had piercings in there, then I had dermals in there, and those were like 7 layers of tattoo work.
Yeah.
But it doesn't matter. Like, people just they think that it isn't, and so that it isn't, right? Like, but we need as many of these out there because so many people think that my work is not real.
Yeah.
It's AI or it's all edited. Like, you wouldn't believe the amount of cope that you get. Like, just full on cope about how this isn't real or it isn't healed or settled or anything. And you can be showing them, like, the moon on my hand is now 5 years plus old and it's still there. It hasn't been hit in over 3 years.
Yeah, it's just been surrounded by other stuff.
Yeah, it's just been surrounded by other stuff. And it's like, if you listen to those guys, that would have been gone in a week.
Well, and it's on your hand, too.
And it's on my
Like,
hand.
your
My hands
it
are
is, like,
dog shit.
That is, like, built to fail.
My hands are dog shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, this rose was done in 2020.
Yep.
Guess what? It's not gone,
No.
right? And I haven't touched up in over a year. It wasn't even a touch up. We changed it to the purple and red. Mm-hmm. But
Anyways,
I think this is cool. It's obviously in his style.
yeah, I love what he does.
This is just always an opportunity for me to talk more about different methods. I think this is a great method for someone that could do it, right? I don't think that this is the best choice for a blackout generally. Like, I don't even think I would recommend Terry to be doing these unless it was really soft work.
Oh, the gray.
Because the problem is if you can't get that gray shade solid, then when you go to cover over it, you're going to have different tonalities within that.
Yeah, I think, and I had said this before, because we often, like, we talk about how the color on black is, you know, if you can pack color, you can do it. This gray wash blackout method, that it's not for the faint of heart.
It's also, it's not something that, like, say that client couldn't get right back in. You don't want to live with it because it just looks like a beat up blackout.
Right.
So, like, you would need to be.
I just think it's harder than, I think it's probably harder to do something like that than
It's
a full
harder
blackout.
to prep this, but
Yeah.
if you can do it, then I think you can get a better result.
Mm-hmm.
Like, if you can pack color, no problem. There's no problem. I can pack black, no problem. I think this is probably a better result if the conditions are right. So the work that you're covering has to be pretty faint.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you couldn't have covered my old bodysuit with black wash.
Yeah.
It wouldn't have happened. Even it took multiple layers of black to just cover that. Like, my arms were 4 to 6 passes because they were so densely colored, right? Like, and also, like, if you're heavily scarred, it can take more time too, right? Like, things don't saturate as well. So I think if conditions are correct, and this is why it will always be a case-by-case scenario with this stuff, I think you can cover over with a black wash. But generally, this is going to be a now and then thing. I don't think this is a best case scenario every time. But what you get is a faster road to your color, right?
Mm-hmm.
So theoretically, you could go from needing 1 or 2 to 3 passes on any individual color over black to 1 to 2, right? It eliminates a little bit of the color work. I still think you can get as vibrant a color either way. Mm-hmm. You'll just be doing more passes of color over solid black than you will black wash. But it is interesting to see this, and this is exactly what I wanted to see start happening. I think I just needed to do this for a long time. Now I've had white and black and color on black stuff for 5-6 years, and people are starting to finally kind of trust it.
Yep.
And now you're seeing people really play with this.
I'm excited to to see all the play, and I wish that more artists and more clients would be willing to experiment the way that.
This was a
that
friend
these
of
guys
his.
are. Yeah, I just wish that more of this was happening. Because,
Well, you still have so many people that don't even think you can do it, so that's a big
Right.
problem. Like,
But,
we had those women in here the other day, and you were trying to tell them what we did on me, and they were like, "Oh, you mean you did that around the black?" And
No.
it's like,
I was
and then you're
yeah.
like, you can see their minds blowing when they're like, "Oh, that's all done over black."
Yeah.
And then it's like it doesn't compute. Even if it's been explained, it's just like,
Yeah, I think at the end she still didn't quite get it.
no, I don't think so. And I think that there's a lot of people like that, and there's a lot of tattooers like that too.
Right.
Right? Like there's a lot of tattooers that are like that or worse. So I think until this becomes very mainstream, and when that happens, they don't admit they were wrong. They just go, "Oh, I always knew you could do that," which is like an ego thing. These guys all need to just admit they were wrong and get on board, and then imagine how many cool new things we could do.
Well, just like imagine, I mean, we could eliminate laser removal.
Essentially, there's almost no reason for laser removal.
I mean, as long as the person is willing and wants to do the blackout, I mean, laser removal has its place. Of course it does.
Not
but,
much.
You know.
There's almost no way, there's very few instances where you'll fully remove the tattoo.
Yeah, if with a blackout, you could basically fix almost any tattoo.
Most times with laser, you're going to be getting a cover up, right? Like you're just going to, unless you're going to do it for a period of 1 to 10 years, and who knows how long. This is a better result than that,
I'd
by
like to
far.
Talk a little bit more about this too, because the parts where they've put in the white as well are just super cool.
Fill up some better contrast.
Yeah, I really love this one, and then the yellow on black one. I both am just loving. I love this style. I like his style anyways. I follow him on Instagram.
Yeah, he's got a cool style.
I like it.
I've talked a lot about his style already, and so to me, it's just more the methodology that. And by the way, the white will go in easier over the black
the white
wash
looks
than
so nice.
People think that white would contrast better with black. It's a mixing pot, and it's all about density of ink. It has nothing to do with colors. People think that it does.
It reminds me. I was thinking about this the other day, and
it's chemistry.
No one out there has been. If anybody has been a silkscreen artist and done silk screening on paper. When you're layering silkscreen inks or even relief print inks, your the inks interact with each other because they're certain amount of thickness, and you can thin up your inks and stuff like that. And that's kind of what this reminds me of, is working with those mediums, but you're working with them in the skin. I don't know if that seems crazy. I don't know if anybody out there gets what I'm saying.
It's like cooking or chemistry or bake. It's not like painting at all.
No.
People think that it's like painting. I heard people call tattoos paint.
No,
they think
it's
you're
not.
painting the surface of the skin.
Maybe not it's definitely not like acrylic paint.
It's not at all like painting.
Everything is interacting with each other, but you can flood out.
Yeah, well, the skin only ever has so much pigment in it.
Yeah.
You're just replacing parts of the old pigment with new pigment. It's like if I was really capable
I
of
wouldn't
having
say replacing, I'd say
diluting, changing, whatever word
term.
you want to use.
Yeah.
But if it was all building up in there and nothing was ever going away, like some people think, say, oh, the black will come back. No, the black is gone, you moron. If it was still in there and I was just piling up ink layers, my skin would be out to the fucking sidewalk out there.
Well, it's because it's in motion that you can dilute it. But anyways,
it's always fluid and it's always capable of being changed.
do you think that the aim is to bring this nebula red to the brightest tone they can get out of it?
I think that there's already we already know what the brightest tone is. I have it. It's on my underarms.
It's so bright, but
chest.
I'm wondering if that's
probably.
their plan.
They'll just do another pass.
I'm excited to see.
It's nebula red is incredibly bright.
I love it.
I've already seen this, and it's the brightest red I've seen. And I've had so many red inks used on me. I've never seen anything that candy bright, and it just kills black.
It destroys
it just
black.
shreds through it like nothing's there. So that's exactly. And this is a guy, by the way, who this is a no ego take, just watching results. He's seen all the different reds go in on me, and he's like, oh, that's the one I want.
Yep, that one works. Let's use it. Let's see if I get the same result. Yeah.